What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we gotta talk about Silent Hill. I didn't want to do this. I didn't think I was gonna have to make this video, but much like Elden Ring, this was the other game that I thought, was the most likely to appear at the Game Awards. We had talked about it before. I didn't set my expectations high. I'm not blaming Jeff Keighley. I know a lot of people are blaming Jeff Keighley, and that's fine. You guys can, blame whoever you want or get as upset as you want. I'm not saying that as like a looking down. I've always been one to say, you do you, right? You be an individual, and so you have every right to do that. This was a game that I thought was going to be there. Elden Ring was a game that I thought was going to be there. Now, to my credit, it very much sounds like from the rumors floating around the gaming industry that Elden Ring was supposed to be there and that Elden Ring will be shown over the next little while. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow on one of the two channels, okay? As always, before I get too far into Silent Hill, make sure you guys are subscribed, make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on, and make sure if you guys want to follow me on Twitter that you do. Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. The link for it is in the description below. We have a lot of fun over there on Twitter. I think we built a really awesome community over there. All right, let's talk about Silent Hill. So this was the other game. Now, there was less, I would say, credible sources on this one. There were people saying it. I saw multiple people say it. They weren't the most accurate people. There's some people that there are, and I'm not going to name them because some of them actually follow me on Twitter, but I do appreciate their work, but they have a very spotty track record is pretty much what I'll say. The people that were saying Silent Hill was going to be there they got like a 50% success rate, okay, in terms of predicting stuff. Whereas Elden Ring, it was people that were more, they're more credible, just basically all around. So, to not look down on Silent Hill, and this is kind of a two-thing video. Number one, it wasn't there. That was sad. That broke my heart. Okay, I really wanted to see it there. I was just as confident of it being there as I was that September State of Play from Sony, which I was very anticipating it. Actually, I think it was that June one that everybody said it was going to be there. So I was like, oh, guys, buckle up because here it comes. And then they showed Resident Evil. It's like, well, that's close. It's another horror game, completely unrelated, but it's at least another horror game. So here we are. This is the third time. So you could say 3 strikes, you're out. I wouldn't blame you for saying 3 strikes, you're out, but this is the third event that we were told by people, again, credible or not, that it was going to be there. So the question I think probably that rises in a lot of people's heads is the game actually real? Look, I will say this one last time. We will go through maybe the history of it one last time. I truly do think it's real. I really do. There's been more rumors that Sony will have a State of Play in like January or February. Now, those are rumors by the same people that are like 50-50. What I will say is I also predict that, and I thought that, I guess there's no way of proving this, but I thought that Sony would have a State of Play before those people said it. So I will lean into, I do think there's a State of Play coming. I do want to make a video on that over the next couple of days, but I do think there's a State of Play coming for simple reasons of like Ratchet & Clank, Horizon, Gran Turismo, Kenna Bridges. I mean, they have a lot to show, and they have to do it somewhere, right? So I think that making their own State of Play, again, would make a lot of sense. So that's my personal prediction. And by the way, connecting it to Silent Hill, I do think the Silent Hill game would be a candidate to be there. I do think this game is real. What's happened over the last, I would say, 2-3 weeks has made it a little bit more confusing, also maybe less certain, because, look, we know from the rumors, believe them or not, that Sony has basically rented the license from Konami, okay? So, again, one last time to tell this story. Sony has given Konami money. Konami has let Sony use the IP, the name of Silent Hill. Sony's making it a first-party, a PS5 exclusive, and then some of that money when the game is sold will go to Konami. So Konami makes out really well for doing literally nothing. All they're doing is giving the name over, okay? And rumor is that they're doing it also for Metal Gear, that Blue Point Games, right, makers of Demon Souls and Shadow of the Colossus, that they're doing a Metal Gear remake, which is like the same gig, okay? So that's part of it. Now, for the Silent Hill game, what we heard is, and I believe this is correct, that it was parts of Sony Japan, their Japan studio, which is a big studio, makes a lot of different games right over time. They've done Gravity Rush. They've done a lot of actually weird stuff that's actually been really, really good, but that they're doing it. And they also brought in some people from Team Silent. Well, I'm not going to butcher his name, but the lead guy, the guy who actually was one of the creators of Silent Hill, he also led the Gravity Rush franchise, right? We talked about this on the second channel. He left and he made his own studio. So that alarmed people, I think is the best way of putting it, right? That alarmed people that he left. I'm happy, obviously happy for him. Make whatever game you want to make. If you could try and get the rights to Gravity Rush and make it on your own, that would be my dream thing, right? Don't stop Gravity Rush is pretty much what I want. But okay, so he was the lead. But the thing is, he made Gravity Rush 2. That was the last game he made, and he was like the head on it. But we don't know what he's made since then. And, while they made the announcement like 2-ish weeks ago he started his own studio, doesn't mean he literally just started his own studio 2 weeks ago, right? He probably started it months ago, and they're just announcing it now. But the point is, he's been working on something at Sony Japan for 2 years, around 2 years, we can say, just as an average. That's a long time. So what has that game been? Was it Silent Hill? And then, if he left, again, there hasn't sounded like there's any fallout because of that, right? It's like, oh, the project he was working on is now doomed. Nobody's really saying anything. But it's like, well, unless he's been retired for 2 years or he was on a 2-year vacation, then he said, yeah, I'm just not going to come back. I'm going to make my own team. Unless he did that, he was working on something that now is missing his role in it. So, if that is Silent Hill, does that, are there going to be issues there? It's pretty much the thing. But also, was that game Silent Hill? Well, he was an original maker of Silent Hill, so it wouldn't surprise me if he kind of was, spearheading a team, right? If he was the head of a team with some Team Silent members, and they were making the game. I think that could have been it. I don't think the game would be in any dire situation. Look, considering there were rumors back in the spring that the game was coming out this fall, and then that changed to, well, it's being announced this year and will release next fall. No, I think that one is obviously a bit more accurate, if that's even true in the first place. But, if that is true, well, the game's coming out in less than 12 months. The game's very close. I don't want to say losing that one of the heads of your team is a good thing, or it won't matter whatsoever. But I think that it probably means less knowing that the game is in its final stand, right? It would be different if it had 3 years left. It was just getting off the ground, and then you had them leave, right? That would be a big deal. So I do think it's being made. I would probably subscribe to the theory, if you wanted to pitch it, that maybe there's problems with it, or maybe, again, his departure from Japan studio has something to do with the overall situation. I don't know. I mean, I don't. It's interesting because we really don't get a lot of rumors or leaks from that stuff, which is odd to me personally. But I do think the game is real. I do think the game is relatively close. I do want to believe the rumors that it's coming out next year. There's also the idea that maybe Kojima has something to do with something, right? Who knows in God's name what he's making right now. There were a lot of rumors he was making a Silent Hills game. Hills as in with the S, not Silent Hill, which is what we think that Sony Japan is making. It's very confusing. We've gone over it before. I still personally don't understand it all the way. But no, I really do think it's real. I really do think it's coming. But the thing is, now we're entering territory where, we've had, I would say, decently credible, things to point us to that it's real and that it's coming. But the longer it goes, the less credibility there is. If Sony Japan, if we start to figure out what games that they are actually making and it's not Silent Hill, that lowers it. If Kojima over this next year announces his game and it's not Silent Hill, there goes that. You know what I mean? So basically, the dominoes will keep falling as the months go on. So I still believe it now. If we head into the next state of play, it's not there. If we start to find out what these studios are making and it's not it, if we get to May, June, July, and we still don't see it, well, the game was supposed to release in the fall. Unless somebody comes out there and says, well, it's delayed a full year. Now it's fall of 2022. Well, then I have to ask, well, are you sure? Is that actually what's going on? So there are ways that I think this could slip in my mind. But look, I've been very strong on this for actually quite a while. I think there's probably other people out there on the internet that have talked about Silent Hill. In fact, I know that. I would say I've been very consistent on YouTube and been one of the bigger voices saying that this game is real and this game is coming. So I will stick with that. We will keep going with that, assumption. Let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think the game's still real? When do you think we'll see it? Maybe at another state of play or a new state of play over the next little while. Let me know. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, podcastnow15 is my Twitter handle. We're getting really close. We already hit actually my goal for 2020. I kind of want to get to 1,800, and obviously there'll be a push for 2,000 over the next couple months. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.